Thank you.
Hello, Facebook Live. Welcome back to Live Backstage. We are with Prüvit. We are in Las Vegas, Nevada right now at Red Rocks, and I am Cafe Anderson, and I have such the honor of interviewing Mel Robbins for this.
Aww.
You did so good. You just got off the stage at More. It was crazy.
It was probably the most electric experience I have ever had in the history of my career.
And they love you.
Oh, well,
and you're good at what you do.
Well, I know that that what I'm talking about actually works, and it changes you. And so I communicate that with such a level of intentionality because I want everybody that learns about the 5-second rule to understand how imperative it is that you try this, that there really is just a gap that is that small between all your dreams and the doubts killing it.
I love it. I love it. Now, for country folks, the 5-second rule is not when you drop your piece of Popeyes and you got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blow it. Jesus didn't bless this. That ain't what we're talking about. Okay, give me a quick 5-second an example.
Sure.
An idea of the 5-second rule.
Yeah, you're sitting in a meeting and you got something to say, and you stop and you think, and within 5 seconds you've talked yourself out of talking. That's one. You see somebody that's good looking and you're attracted to them, and within 5 seconds you don't start walking toward them. You talk yourself out of it. You are committed to losing some weight, and you see a croissant, and you know you should not eat it because you've already had your healthy breakfast from Prüvit, right?
Exactly.
You've had your drink, and within 5 seconds, you got to move away from it, or else all that's going to come in, and you're going to grab it out of emotion.
It's amazing how many decisions and how many chances have been missed in 5 seconds.
And how many breakthroughs and life-changing moments you've had
in 5 seconds.
So if you think about all of those moments where your life changed.
I love the story you gave about the Frappuccino.
Yes, that the Frappuccino was a 5-second decision. There was a manager who noticed that there was always a drop in business whenever it was warm outside, but they didn't have a frozen drink back in 1992.
Yeah.
And so he made this on instinct decision to go with a blender. He knew that the rules were against having blenders. He brought one in. He started experimenting. He then made a 5-second decision to tell somebody in management. They loved it. Next thing you know, the Frappuccino's rolled out a year later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know how much money I've given to them because of this 5-second decision?
Well, I try not to do
It's kept my marriage rolling, but it's been a lot of money.
Yes.
Isn't that funny?
Yes.
Okay, so why prove it? Why would you take your time out of your busy schedule to come and speak to the provers and just...
Well, because there's something more going on here than just selling product.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't want to trash anybody, but I've done a tremendous number of speeches across a very vast body of audiences, industries, companies, brands, and there are very few that are as committed to the people and their development.
Absolutely.
Not just the churning of product and selling.
And leaving carnage of people that have joined the company and then left.
Yes.
I've seen companies just leave so much carnage after it's over, but they're getting their checks, they're moving on, the name is getting bigger, and they couldn't care less.
Right.
It's actually the opposite here, which, I mean, there's no reason for people to sit in a room for 8 hours and take notes and they don't move.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not just sitting, because it's a whole lot of dancing.
It's actually, but there's also a lot, but because all the content isn't just about the product, it's actually about how are you as a human being going to be better. And so, I don't know, you can just tell. I mean, you can tell when you interact with as many brands as I do, who really cares about people and who looks at people as part of a data spreadsheet. And so I think even more and more, that's a piece of actually advice for those of you that are building a business. And that is that in today's world, we can tell if you care about us or not.
Absolutely.
And, you know,
people know.
Yeah, and in a direct one-to-one selling situation, people really know. And that's why you can't take the no's personally, because it's really not about you. It's about you caring for other people.
Okay. So right now, Facebook Live, click share, because we want your warm market, we want your circle of influence to understand and listen to all these amazing gold nuggets. She's just dropping just dropping everywhere. I'm standing in this pit of gold right now. She's giving you so much.
Well, let me tell you the 5-second
knowledge.
rule. The moment you hesitate, count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then move. And the counting backwards is really important because it's actually a mind trick backed by science that shifts the part of the brain that stops you and awakens the part of the brain that will give you courage and will help you learn new skills.
So what do you do? You stop? Count backwards?
Yeah, well, no, you've already stopped because you're catching yourself hesitating. You see somebody that you want to talk to about Prüvit, and you stop and you think. Now you're hesitating. Now you're shrinking. Now you're pulling away. The doubt is charging in like a stampede of wild horses. You got 5 seconds to move. You don't freaking move in that window. The self-doubt will trample you. So you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and what happens is by counting backwards, it requires focus. This part of the brain awakens, and all those wild horses of self-doubt, they go in a different direction. You have just taken control of that window, and this is why I say your life happens in 5-second moments. For those of you that made a decision to get married, you thought about it for a long time, and it was a decision that happened in 5 seconds that changed the course of your life. Some of us have seen people across the room, made a decision to go talk to them. That was a decision that changed the course of your life because you either learned about the Prüvit business or you met the person of your dreams. Like there are decisions that you have made in your life where you suspended self-doubt for just an instant and you trusted yourself. And that makes all the difference in the world, in particular, the small ones.
Wow. Wow. And listen to this. The book is even better. Like this is the book in jeans, okay? We talking about the hardback, paperback, get it? Some of y'all don't even read. I know you. You don't read nothing because you're lazy or because you're busy.
Get the audio
Anyway,
book.
There's an audio book, people.
Yes.
Hey. Dude,
you know what? It's the most successful self-published audiobook in the history of audiobooks.
Are you joking, man?
In a matter of
serious?
7 months, yeah.
Are you serious?
7,000 5-star reviews in 6 months.
She might know what she's talking about. Okay, listen, really quick. Can we talking about like that? That's a whole word where I'm from. She knows what she's talking about. Okay, leave a question. Can we get a question? Give me a question. Stacy, do something with yourself. Hand me that.
Oh, listen.
Just stop being pretty. Stacy got some white teeth. You hear me? That ain't a camera trick.
Do you have any questions? What are you working on?
Oh, new album. Finishing a new album up right now.
So what's it like, though, the hesitation with songwriting?
I don't hesitate. I trust my gift.
That's why you're as successful as you are.
I trust my gift. Absolutely. All right, let's see.
I don't know if the genes.
The book is so good.
Yes. All right, let's see.
Okay, stout.
Oh, here we go. We got people asking. How did you come up with the 5-second rule? I saw a rocket ship launching on a commercial. And I thought that's the secret. I got to launch myself out of bed. I had a problem, Angela, of hitting the snooze button. I had developed a habit because I was going through a really rough time in our marriage.
Say that again. You had a habit of what?
Hitting the snooze button.
You had a habit of what?
Hitting the snooze button.
Keep going.
Hitting the snooze button.
Message.
And so I was literally starting my day by hitting the snooze button 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
And so by the time I woke up, I already was full of doubt, already beating myself up, already behind the ball, already feeling like the world's worst mom. And the rest of the day was spent trying to climb out. And I would never climb out. I would just start drinking. And so I decided I needed to start getting up on time. And so I developed this little strategy of acting like a rocket ship, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it broke the habit immediately. And then I thought, holy cow.
Something so simple.
Yeah.
It's going to change so many other people's lives.
No, I didn't have that thought then. I thought, yes, she did. No, I did not. I literally thought, how would it work anywhere else? And it turns out it does. You can use it to lower how annoyed you get with your spouse or your kids. You can use it to force yourself to speak up in meetings. You can use it to force yourself to sell. Basically to push yourself through all the uncomfortable moments throughout your day.
Just little rocket launches.
Yeah, little rocket launches all day long, little 5-second rocket launches.
Very cool.
And I used it secretly for 3 to 4 years. My husband and I did, and our whole lives started to change because of these 5-second rocket launches. I love that.
Yeah.
And I told somebody once, and they taped it and put it online, and it went viral. And obviously, this is God telling me this is what I'm supposed to do, because I never intended to do this.
No, trust me, I get it. I started out singing on YouTube.
Really?
Because record labels were like, we don't get it.
Yeah.
And then it just exploded. And then the people decided. And
Yes.
People know what they love. They know what they can get behind. They know what they can trust.
Yes, but they're not going to find you unless you rocket launch 5-second decisions all day long. And so the decision to go on YouTube, that's a 5-second decision. The decision to do it again, that's a 5-second decision. The decision to do it again, that's a 5-second decision.
Questions, stop leaving comments. I love the comments though. One more question, yes.
Question here. What 5-second decision has impacted your life the most?
Oh, that's getting out of bed that first morning. The decision to try to use it.
To get up.
The first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one for sure, because it set this whole chain of events forward that I never in a million years expected would happen. Oh.
Even just the application. Just
Yeah.
the application to say, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, because I was circling in self-doubt, and so the fact that in that moment I stopped doing what I had been doing for a while.
So self-doubt, did it come from how you felt about yourself? Did it come from things in the past?
Everything.
All of it at
Self-doubt's a habit. So self-doubt, when you think about self-doubt, most of us start to think...
Self-doubt is a habit. Say that one more time.
Self-doubt
please.
is a habit. You don't doubt yourself, you have a habit of doubting yourself.
Absolutely.
And you can break any habit. And so when you start to separate the behaviors that you don't like from your identity, you have the ability to change them. Mm-hmm. And so when you realize that self-doubt is also an action, you see, here's the other thing, is we make the mistake of thinking that self-doubt is a feeling and that it's something that you're always going to feel. No. When you feel certain things, whether it's overwhelmed or it is uncertainty or you're scared about something, what happens is you take actions triggered by those feelings.
Absolutely.
So you hesitate, that's an action. You hide, that's an action. You start to become hypercritical of yourself and talk to yourself negatively. That is an action. Acting helpless, that's an action. So when you also start to think about self-doubt are all tiny decisions that you make not to move forward, tiny decisions that you make not to go through your comfort zone, tiny decisions not to try, you can also then counteract it by taking decisions to try, taking decisions to move forward.
Love it.
It becomes less
So
about
much,
your
so
identity
rich.
and so much more about the little things you're doing that are triggered by self-doubt. And if you just reverse those, you now start to eradicate self-doubt and its hold on you. So that one decision to just, fuck it, excuse me, but to say, get up and hit, like try something different. It just set into motion this chain reaction, because here's the other thing. I think we think about who we want to become.
Absolutely.
But the power is in seeing yourself acting like the person you want to become. Because then you have proof. You know, what I saw in my life for a very long time was a lot of proof that I was not a good person, that I had a lot of problems. I was mounting up evidence. And, you know, I drink too much, I'm gossipy, I'm jealous, I'm not successful, you know, in my career, I'm a bad mom. Like you start to see yourself doing all these actions that make you feel a certain way about yourself. What's amazingly powerful is that you can reverse all that by simply taking actions, even though you don't feel like it, that prove to you that you're the kind of person actually that does get up on time. You're the kind of person that even though you feel afraid, you say something. You're the kind of person
that, is a great mom.
that if
That's
you're,
a great friend.
that even though you're scared about your future, you still are the kind of mom that talks in a way that's respectful to your kids, that you're the kind of person. And then when you have the evidence, because you are taking these tiny little 5-second rocket launches, a tidal wave shifts everything. And suddenly you wake up and you are it.
Wow.
But don't wait to feel like it. Like the other thing that's huge in my message is all these feelings that we all feel are normal. So feeling nervous is really normal.
Absolutely.
Letting it stop you is a choice.
Okay.
Feeling doubt is normal. Letting it stop you is a choice.
Wow.
Feeling tired is normal. Letting it stop you is a choice.
Yeah.
And when you start to understand that you have 100% power over every choice you make, and you can feel whatever is riveting through your body and know that it's normal, but you can still make a separate choice. It's like exercise.
Yeah.
I never feel motivated to exercise. I choose to do it.
Yeah. I have friends of mine, have a big patriotic following. A lot of veterans follow my music and stuff
awesome.
like that. And I've talked with guys that are heroes. I mean, Purple Heart, the whole nine. And one of the guys was like, man, I was so scared. And people are like, you're so courageous. He's like, I was terrified. I was trying to live. I was trying to save my friends. And so one of the stories, one of the guys was driving. One of his fellow soldiers got hit. Fellow Marines, not soldiers. Fellow Marines got hit. He's driving, holding him, puts his finger in his jugular. He's like, oh my gosh, that works. He's not bleeding. He's talking to me. Driving, pulling people here, and hands a rifle to another guy and says, shoot, and gets them out.
Wow.
And he was like, the whole time, I was freaked out. He said, I didn't sleep for 2 days. You know, and his eyes started drying out. It was so many hallucinations and stuff like that. But he had to push through. And that's what courage is. People always see courage on the other side.
Right,
But even though it was that traumatic, and for some people, it may not be a life or death situation.
For most of us, it's not.
But getting up in front of a crowd is terrifying.
For some people.
Stepping out of your comfort zone is terrifying.
For me, in my life, guys, it was terrifying to get out of bed in the morning because there were so many problems that had racked up and they felt so big that I did not feel capable of both facing them or solving them. And so it was easier to hide, to hit the snooze. And so understand that courage is something that you need every single day. There are conversations that, you know, I need to have in my family because there's some stuff going on my husband's side of the family that there are conversations that I need to have that are going to be uncomfortable. That's all courage is. Courage is the ability to act even though you're nervous or even though you're afraid. That's it.
Yeah.
I say that's it. It's actually, it feels difficult, but action will disappear all the fear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
Okay, one more question. What else we got? Are you done? Are you tired?
No.
She said, yes, this is on point.
Well, even if I am tired, I'll keep going because I can choose to.
You're getting a lot of people asking if you're going to be at the next event.
Well, I'm not going to be in Dubai, but we're going to work on Australia.
Big question.
Yes.
How do I be bold without being brash?
There's a difference between content and tone. There's a big difference between content and tone. And so you should also, there's two things about your question that I want to address. So if you're concerned about being brash, that means that part of your brain is focused on what other people think. So that's one piece that you have to go to war on, is really when you start to think and get worried about how other people perceive you, you need to catch those thoughts and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bring like your commitment to why you're doing what you're doing to the forefront. The second thing is, so that's the one piece of this. The second thing is that I can come off as very brash. I'm trained as a lawyer. I'm super passionate about what I talk about.
Absolutely.
You know, I've been on CNN for 4 years, and so there can be an edge to it that crosses into the wrong side, being brash versus being like super passionate. And so I purposefully manage that in lots of ways. I get emotional, I'm self-deprecating, I don't dress in a way, I dress in a way that's very professional, that's very approachable. I tell lots of stories about all of my failures. And so I think that if you're truly working on a tone issue and a perception issue and not an insecurity issue, you can manage those things based on how you dress and by watching your tone.
Yeah. Also, intention goes a long way.
Yeah.
Because you can be bold if your intentions are right. People can feel it. And sometimes, you know, all foods aren't the same. Some things are crispy, some things are soft, but it's all good for you if you do it the right way. So I think the intention goes a long way with it. Because, you know, my dad's Cajun, veteran, Pentecostal Christian. Like, he's hardcore. Hardcore. He barely even talks to some people, but when he says it, you're like, ooh. But then he'll come by and rub your back. Like, that's his way.
My mother is the same way.
Oh my
gosh. Her bite, her bark is bigger than her bite.
Such a loving cactus.
Yes.
Our parents. Anyway, Mel Robbins, thank you so much. You're so awesome.
I love you.
Thank you so much for doing this. Love you too. Love your heart. Love your mission. Congratulations on getting out of bed. Thank you for sharing it. Awesome. Hey guys, share this video. My name is Cafe Anderson. We are at the MORE event in Las Vegas. So, can we pick a winner from the last?
Yeah, we got it right here.
So we have a winner from the last, a person that shared it.
Sean White.
Sean White! Come on, son. Is that a woman or a man? Doesn't matter. We're giving you something you can take. Male and female can take. What are we doing?
The profile picture was a Max packet, so.
Oh my goodness. We're going to send you Max. We're going to send you the Max. We're going to send you a whole box. Save you some money. So that's a good thing. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, everyone that shared this video, you are going to be in the running to win a free gift whenever we get in to interview Dr. Ken. Y'all have the best day. JustPrüvit.com. Cool.